Nation, let's do it. We back, baby. The 2023 season is finally in our rear view mirrors, and we got some things to talk about. Some future projections, little aftermath from Super Bowl 58. Some of the things that happened this past weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. I heard it was off the charts. Did anybody think otherwise? I didn't. I knew it would be a Super Bowl hotspot. It's becoming a sports town, y'all, and we're in the center of it. And we're going to talk about some things as it pertains to that, too. So without further ado, welcome in to another episode of Night of the Shield. I'm your host, Jason Smith, a.k.a. The Knight, a.k.a. The Oakland Knight, a.k.a. The Blind Jedi. Pick, choose, call me what you will, but we're here to talk Raider football. And man, I'm starting to get that little tingly feeling I usually get around this time of year. What's coming our way, right? We got free agency, we got the draft, we got mini camps. It's going to be on, man. And a lot of rumors and a lot of hoopla and a lot of drama. And that's where I want to start tonight. I want to start tonight about this whole pick a side. I feel like I have to talk about this all the time, right? Either you got to like or want AOC or you don't, or you got to want Pierce or you don't want Pierce. You got to pick. You can't just go in with an open mind and let things play out. Let athletes be athletes. Let them battle it out on the football field, and whoever wins the day gets to start. And I've been having problems with my StreamYard tonight, y'all. And I started paying for StreamYard basically so I could hide this mess. I'm working on dealing with the studio right now. I'm trying to remodel it. I got some things I'm working on. And now you guys get to see it tonight. So I apologize for the viewage there, but it is what it is. Now everybody's wondering, about quarterbacks and here's the thing. I was asked all weekend long, who you going for? What do you mean, who am I going for? None of them. I'm not going for none of them. I watched the game. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't. I mean, I like football. And I wanted to see this year's best of the best. They earned the right to be there. I can't knock that. I just wanted to see how I was going to shake down. I told my wife, look, I have reasons to hate both teams. I do. And I'm really trying to retrain my mind to be all in on the West, man. And no, I mean, and I am it's crazy, dude. There was no happy ending. Pause if needed. There just wasn't, man. They're just either way, I wasn't going to be happy. I'll tell you the only difference, and this might shed a little bit of light for people who don't understand, because I know there's a lot of Raider fans that were adamant they were rooting for the Chiefs, and they were getting just attacked. And I'm like, yeah, probably not the best choice of words. Here's the problem. You don't have to go for any of them. You don't. Yeah. You can watch the game. Yeah. Right. And one's going to win. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you have to sit there and say, well, because the game is on in both, I'm going to pick this. This is what I'm rooting. Just watch the game. Be mad. That's all I did. I was mad. I didn't get excited. I just sat there melancholy and just watched a game. That's all I did. But I'm going to share something with you because in the moment, you're not thinking of anything, right? Kansas City scores that touchdown in overtime, and I'm like, again, I said, no matter what was going to happen, I was going to be mad. And instantly, I had this fire in my gut, these son of a dynasty, here we go. And it just started, I instantly started thinking, you know what? This is our opportunity, right? Pierce has been talking, and this is what he wants. Okay, this is what you want, bro. Go get him. Go get him. This is your opportunity to prove yourself. And remember, I said that because there's something else I'm going to share with you in this episode that I want you to go check out if you have not yet. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, I wasn't happy. I was mad. And it was weird. My wife's like, but I thought you don't like the Niners. So why are you mad? And I'm like, because I don't like the Chiefs. In fact, I probably hate the Chiefs more. It's not the Niners that I so-called hate as much as I do the fan base. I grew up in the Bay. I'm a Bay guy. My whole family's Niner fans. I still live in California. I still live in I live in Central California, so I'm right in the middle of it all. And just there's Niner fans like the whole week. There's Niner flags, and it was funny because the next day, Monday, today, Tuesday, just crickets, bro. Just silent. I go into meetings. I usually go into these meetings at work, and then they're full of Niner fans and stuff, and I'm getting it, right? And I'm sitting there in the meeting today, and I'm like, it was quiet. And if I had to pick a moment, see, for all you East Coast dudes, man, East Coast Raider Nation, most importantly, I appreciate you and love you, man. But there's a reason why a lot of people in the California and this West Coast stuff, man, they just didn't want to hear it, dude. It's bad. It's bad over here. And the funny thing is I remember hearing all the Niner fans, even up into this, Cowboy fans. That's all Cowboy, dude. They're just alike. In fact, I'll be even fair and willing to say all fan bases are alike. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. Not hearing all the chirp where I live. It's quite nice. It's just quiet, dude. There ain't nothing. I don't know any Chief fans. None. Zero. None on my Facebook feed. Nowhere. I'm sure they might pop up in the chat, and that's fine. They can live here. They don't bother me. But in my personal house, around my area, my community, I do not know a Chiefs fan. In fact, day of the Super Bowl, when I was out in the morning getting my coffee and whatnot, I did see one car that had a Chiefs flag hanging out of it. Of course, I rolled down my window. Passenger side, I don't drive. And I yelled out, Raiders, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It's over. There's nothing we can do about it this time around, but we got something to look forward to. And on that note, we're going to jump into phase 2. Actually, I'm going to save that for the end because I think that's how I want to end this episode, because it means more to me than just the Raiders. So I'll get into that at the end. But Mark Davis made a couple of appearances, and he tried to use the same joke. The Chiefs and the Niners are my second favorite team. And there was a lot of backlash he got for it, right? A lot of people attacking Mark Davis. And I'm like, man, is this culture become that naive? Do you really think he meant that? All right, there's two things happen. This is going to be a real quick conversation. I'm not going to waste my time trying. If you don't understand, then there's no way I can explain it to you. But there's two reasons why he said it. Number one, he's hosting the Super Bowl, man. He is an NFL dude. He is an owner of a franchise. It's revenue sharing. He can't go out there and start bashing the one thing that's making him money right now, which is the second part of the equation, by the way. He's saying right now they're his second favorite team because all you could hear is ching, 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 ching. And the money in the place that you're used to hearing that every day. Ching, 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 ching. But now it's just a little bit louder. Ching, 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 ching. They were bringing in the money. Big dollars. A lot of celebrities, man, they were spending money in Vegas all week long. Money. And there's revenue sharing. But see, here's the thing. Everybody was wondering why, how, and did Mark Davis land that deal? Man, because Vegas is all about that ching ching, right? They're all about that money, bro. They know what's there, bro. They saw it on the wall. Build it right, and they will come. And there ain't a doubt. It's already been talked about all day today. That's all I heard all day today about when and how Vegas will get another Super Bowl, because it was the money spot. Hey, that's it. That's where it's at. That's what we're talking about, yo. Like, that is it. That is it. That city, that strip, all those restaurants, all those gambling facilities, the hotels, all of it, the transportation hubs, all of it, love the Raiders. Love Mark Davis. And when it's time for repairs and upgrades and all the stuff that, we need more city support, they ain't going to blink twice. They're going to be like, dude, whatever you want, Mr. Davis, whatever you need, Mr. Davis, we got you. That's why he was saying what he was saying. He's got Vegas, dude, and Vegas got him. And this is the main reason why, guys, and I'm not going to get into that part of it. There's plenty of time in the offseason that we could bring this up and have this conversation. I know some of the statements I made a couple videos back maybe hit a little different for some people. Look, I'm the Oakland Knight, man. I'm from the Bay. I was born in Fremont, raised up through Hayward, all the way down the pipeline. Okay, I still got family in Hayward. Like that's where I'm from, man. It doesn't mean I have to like what they do and some of the choices they made. All right, it is what it is. I'll forever be the Bay. But the Raiders needed this. As a Raider fan, they needed this. This is how they were going to become sustainable. And every negative thing that was said about them during that process was wrong. It was all for the right reasons. CBS on YouTube, if you look it up, CBS, I can't remember the other numbers that are on there. Did like this short little movie clip, or I don't know if it's going to be a whole movie or if it was just something that was put together, but it was about Al and Madden and the move to Los Angeles, and him being a Maverick and the league being after him and not letting him win after the immaculate reception and all that good jazz. And then there's the thing of Vegas, and he goes, maybe one day. And it was just a well done way just to say, like, this is the dream coming true. This is the dream coming true. And, I know a lot of people are talking right now about the NFL being rigged. Let's not get caught up in that, man. No one ever said, okay, it doesn't make sense to use. I think people are just using the wrong words. Like I'm not going to say the NFL's rigged. Now, as a billion dollar industry, is it manipulated? 100%. 100%. We know that. Come on, we're Raider fans, dude. Like, we know that. If you've been around as long as I have, seen what I've seen, even with my bad eyes, if you've seen what I've seen, you know that the game's manipulated. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But go check out that. But more importantly, it's the Raider way, right? It just feels different right now. And there's a lot to do. There's a lot that's going to be said, but more importantly, there's a lot to prove. An article came out that Antonio Pierce put out. And we covered that last week, and we talked about what it meant. And I talked about the consistency and what he's saying, and his story never changes, and how important that is. And, it's still nonstop. And I try to explain it in a way for people to grasp it and understand exactly what's happening when it comes to Antonio Pierce, but nobody can explain it better. No one can understand it better until you hear it from the man's mouth himself. And if you have not watched his interview, his podcast, or the podcast he was on, I should be more politically correct. Today's world, I get a bunch of hate comments in the comment section for saying it wrong, but he was on The Pivot. Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and another name I keep forgetting, but I know who Fred Taylor is. I definitely know who Ryan Clark is. And dude, that podcast, if you have not listened to that podcast, go right to YouTube, type in The Pivot Podcast, look it up. It's one of their latest episodes. It's Antonio Pierce. And dude, holy moly. Try to watch my mouth. That's one of the deepest conversations I've heard. Real. And this is the thing, dude. That man is real. He's a real one. And Ryan Clark, my hat goes off to you if I was wearing one, sir, because you did a fantastic interview. To the point where I subbed. I want to see if you got that kind of gift. I haven't watched any other of their podcasts yet or seen who was on their show. But in this particular podcast, because he knows Pierce well. Ryan Clark knows Pierce very well. I was dumbfounded. The things that they were talking about, the things like the coaching, his upbringing, his mom, his passion, what he wants, what happened, how he got the job, what he did after he got the job, what he's trying to do right now, the confidence that just how he just I can't even say it right now. I'm getting pumped up. Like the way he just gets things and pushes it and focuses and he's driven, and when he's driven on something, he doesn't quit. That's exactly what this organization needed. And you've already seen how it works with him. And that was at the spur of the moment. And you saw the Raiders get better and better and better. And now he has this whole offseason to fine tune it. And he even talked about his coaches, the 4 horsemen, he actually called it. I'm telling you, this podcast is on point, and you have to go check it out. He was talking about the 4 horsemen. He was talking about Patrick Graham, Getsy, him, and the McDonald, the special teams guy. They're the four horsemen, and everything's going to run through them, and they all share the same vision, and they're determined, and they're focused, and they're just no quit attitude. And you always hear people say, right? You hear Pierce talk, and you just want to go run through a wall. Dude, I wanted to put on some pads and put my old ass out there and get smacked around, dude. Like dude, it's real. It's real. And in this podcast, you get a very genuine feeling of what it is that he's about, why, everything. It's so much more than him being from Compton, dude. It's so much more for him growing up being a Raider fan. Is he all those things? Yes, but it's so much deeper than that. And the fact that all we could talk about and all that you could hear is about Andy Reid and Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh is just going to make him a better competitor, bro. This guy's a competitor, no quit attitude. And I'm like, hey, I'm here for it, dude. I am here for it. A lot of work to do. And we're going to be getting that now that the season is completely over. We're looking forward. We got free agency coming up. I got some ideas and some things I want to talk about. I'm going to attack it from a different perspective. I definitely want to focus on more on positions and players because we could talk all the hoopla. We'll talk players too, but I want to set the stage. So we'll slowly get our way up to free agency and see how they attack free agency because how they attack free agency is going to let us know a lot more about what's going to be coming in the draft and so on and so forth. But I'm begging you, go listen to the podcast on the Pivot Podcast. Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, Antonio Pierce is their guest. And I mean no disrespect for not remembering the other dude's name. My bad. But I'm telling you, the things that he was saying, like, I just started reminiscing of just about my life. It was that deep where I just started thinking about my journey in life from a boy coming from an abused, drugged house family to finally getting away and feeling free for a little bit just to find out I have an eye disease and I was losing my sight and the path and the journey that I had to go through just to get here and still do this podcast today. And I know that sounds completely lame compared to what this guy was talking about and you guys listening and it being a Raider channel and Raider focused and being Raider fans and wanting to hear more about how it's going to pertain to the Raiders. But I get it. And he's way better at it than me, but I've had to learn how to take those things that come at me, and it comes at me every day, and push them aside and stay focused on the one thing that I think I want. In fact, it re-energized me today. I didn't really plan on recording this today. I was probably going to wait till tomorrow. After hearing that, I was like, man, I want to talk about it while it's fresh. So here's some major things that came out of Super Bowl 58. Number one, it didn't matter who was going to win because I was going to be pissed off regardless. Still am pissed. Don't care. If there was only one good thing that came out of it is I can go into meetings, I can go into work, I can walk up the street and it's quiet. It's quiet in my neighborhood and I'll take it all day. No more flags flying around all over town on these trucks and cars, Niner flags. It's quiet. I'll take that as a small victory. The other thing I took out of it, Mark Davis made a shitload of money. And if you're not excited about that, I don't know, get out. Hey, the dude made money. And because everybody else around him made money, he has a full town support backing up this organization right now, something we haven't had in pretty much its history. So that's something to be excited about. The other thing to be excited about, the season is officially over. Now we can start moving forward and start figuring things out as they finish up the coaching staff. They just hired, I think his name is Zach Gregg or something, Gregg from the Niners. He was the assistant offensive lines coach. He's coming over and working with our offensive line. So things are starting to shape up. So that's another good thing. Things are starting to dial in. A lot of rumors, a lot of smoke and mirrors going on right now. Hey, let it all just burn up. Let it all start heating up. What y'all need to focus on, okay, and start thinking about is where, what, when do we attack what we need on this football team? Free agency is step one. In fact, if you want to take it a step further, we could start addressing our roster. The Meek Robinsons of the world, the Josh Jacobs of the world. You got to start making certain decisions on the franchise tags. All these teams do it. So that's phase one. Phase two is free agency, and you start trying to find those big pieces that you could fill in. We got some money to spend. And that's going to tell us where we're headed and what we're going to be looking for in the draft. So there's a lot that is to be told. But right now, I think it's time. It's a good time right now. This week, it's a great time to sit back and reflect. We not only reflect on last year or the year before and the year before that, But sit back and reflect for the last 40 years. I want you to sit back. If you've been around long as I have, and I was around 40 years ago, reflect. Regardless of how long you've been a Raider fan, just sit back this week, take deep breaths, reflect, think and envision what it would be like to see your team in a Super Bowl. Sit back, reflect, and think of what it would be like to see your team in the playoffs competing at a high level. Maybe you're in the divisional game. Maybe you actually make it to an AFC championship game. Sit and reflect and think about it. Enjoy it, Raider Nation. I really do think for the first time in a long time, there's a glimmer of light in front of us. This coaching staff, this head coach in particular, is so damn focused, it's not even funny. Go listen to the Pivot podcast. You won't regret it. You will not regret it. I want to appreciate every single buddy here. I know I probably didn't tell you at the beginning. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Start hitting that like button right now. If you made it this far, hit that like button over and over again. Let's run the likes up on this thing. Keep pushing it out. I love and respect every single one of you. Give me your comments down below. How did this weekend make you feel? What are you focused in on? Have you listened to the Pivot podcast, and what did you think about it? Share it with me down below. And I'll be seeing you guys here real soon. We're going to start talking about the needs on this football team. We'll probably start with the roster and who's a free agent. But until next time, y'all stay Raider strong. And remember, there's only one way, the Raider way. Night out.